Can we have faith in a justice system that protects criminals engaged in armed robbery and organized extortion, all while penalizing innocent crime victims who face threats of violence within the courtroom by armed gang members in collusion with state authorities? Picture a world where the very system created to uphold justice and integrity intentionally breaches them without remorse. This isn't a hypothetical scenario. It's a chilling reality that unfolded in Case T3106-18 at the Borås District Court in the legal battle of Rivinoja versus the Swedish state. This case culminated in a violation of the principles of justice, as the court concealed threats involving automatic weapons that were uttered within the courtroom. These threats were further substantiated by evidence found in court protocols, which included written threats along the same menacing lines. Rivinoja, a businessman, became entangled in a web of violence, extortion, corruption, and home invasions, with the tentacles of this dark affair extending deep into the highest levels of the justice system itself. As we delve into the heart of this case, we find a chilling tale of deceit, threats, and a blatant disregard for the rule of law. Rivinoja's company, Humanhabit, fell prey to an unrelenting extortion scheme masterminded by two individuals, Daniel and Thomas, along with their accomplices. These individuals coerced Rivinoja into distributing specific products, funneling payments through another company operated by an individual named Kjell as part of their systematic money laundering operation. Kjell, a criminal with a history of tax evasion and accounting fraud, then redirected the funds to the extortionists. However, this arrangement placed Rivinoja in the position of bearing Kjell's tax liabilities during the harrowing extortion ordeal, which included life-threatening encounters with automatic weapons. State officials communicated these extortion threats to Rivinoja's lawyer, Sandra Ulsten, throughout a prosecution court process that spanned over 6.5 grueling years. During this time, the horrifying reality of violence threats with automatic weapons directed at Rivinoja's family was not any empty threats, where even his children were threatened in home by knife attacks, became a terrifying truth. Clear evidence, supported by written documents, exposed the crimes committed within the police and prosecutors' handling of the investigation, with state-communicated automatic weapon threats presented in court protocols. A dictaphone recording from a crime investigation related to reported extortion and armed robbery unveiled the truth behind the extortion scheme. However, despite the undeniable existence of this recording and Kjell's firm displaying revenues consistent with the extortion amount, the Chancellor of Justice denied state responsibility. Conclusive evidence, fortified by well-documented records, unveiled the misconduct within the police and prosecutors' handling of the investigation. A pivotal dictaphone recording from a crime investigation linked to the reported extortion and armed robbery brought the harsh reality of the systematic extortion scheme to light, involving a sum of 2.4 million crowns in criminal proceeds. Shockingly, despite the unequivocal presence of this recording and Kjell's company's revenues aligning perfectly with the extortion amount, the prosecutor chose to disregard the evidence. Documents in the case further exposed the prosecutor's active collaboration with the police in manipulating investigation protocols. Hilmarsson, a pivotal witness in the case, testified in court, confirming threats involving automatic weapons aimed at the lawyer, victims, and their family. He was there when Kjell discussed these threats, and the prosecutor utilized these documents in the prosecution process against Rivinoja. The threats involving automatic weapons originated from statements made by Kjell, which were documented in court protocols. These threats caused a wave of panic and fear as they persisted for 10 years throughout the court proceedings. Hilmarsson, a key witness in the case, his witness testimony explained details in automatic weapon threats against victims and his family as true events in situation in where he was present in hearing of Kjell announcing these threats that stayed right down in court protocols. The court, however, turned a deaf ear towards these alarming incidents, no matter witness statement, and also these threats communicated in court protocols. Previous court process, in order to make Mr. Rivinoja confess a crime he was innocent of. Ignoring the palpable tension in the room, the judge proceeded with the hearing. Normalize automatic weapon threats communicated in courtroom. Despite these threats, the hearing continued, casting a shadow over the integrity of the proceedings as threats communicated in front of Justice of Chancellor, State Representative in case. The story, however, doesn't end there. During the legal proceedings, Rivinoja and his family lived in fear. They faced knife attacks in their own home and were threatened with automatic weapons by state officials. These threats were so severe that Rivinoja's lawyer, fearing for his own safety, had to abandon the case, yet the court concealed these threats in its judgment. This case serves as a stark reminder of what can happen when the integrity of the justice system is compromised and totally dark. Rivinoja was not just a victim of extortion. He was a victim of a system that failed to uphold justice when it mattered the most. Stay vigilant and continue to investigate state-sanctioned money laundering, which also involves the theft of taxpayers' money. This illicit operation is designed to create a flawless blueprint for systematic money laundering crimes that banks will never question. Initiate a comprehensive investigation into the deliberate embezzlement of taxpayers' money orchestrated by politicians and state officials. We must not permit individuals like the Rivinojas to fall victim to a system originally intended for their protection. Rivinoja's corporate investigation has provided evidence and proof that state politicians have allowed and concealed the theft of hard-earned tax contributions and armed robbery and extortion. Let their stories serve as a beacon, shining a light on the corruption that may hide within the very institutions that are supposed to uphold justice. Above all, never cease your pursuit of the truth. When government politicians engage in concealing the theft of tax money, it signifies a severe malfunction within the system, a systemic breakdown orchestrated by criminal organizations in collusion with politicians.